Hello, it's me again, Svepovi, the Swiss Power Apps enthusiast, Bernie, my name, and I am going to tell you and show you tonight how you can build your first app, create your first app. What do we need to build the first app? Of course, we need a data source. It's going to be an Excel table. And we need, of course, the PowerApps environment and the PowerApps assistant. We start from data, or we start with data to create this app. And of course, we need my intro. Okay, let's start now with the intro. Not with the intro, start with this. So you start from this website, makepowerapps.com. This is the management site for your apps, and you start normally with data from Excel. But before I start, I want to tell you something. If you have the possibility to collect or to choose an environment, choose one test environment. They are possible to create, and this means these are meant for people who want to test, so you don't be scared that you have your licenses which you don't need, which you don't have. This is a test environment where you can do everything. You can, for example, connect to common data services, if you might know it. Okay, so at first we need to create our data source, and this is going to be a list with names, and maybe this is employee list. We have in the first row the column names, so we have last name, first name, date of birth, and so on. And we have some sample data, or I entered some sample data, so Mickey Mouse, Homer Simpsons, with date of birth and start date. But what is very important is that you format this in a way that PowerApps is identifying it as a data source. This is how you do it. You select the rows or the area where the data is, and then you say format as a table. This is this button, and you have very a lot of those design options. Choose one, doesn't matter which one. Format as a table, yes. My table has headers, yes, it has. Okay, and now I can see it already formatted it as a table. And when I enter a new line, let's say Bender, does he have a first name? Let's say Bender, and he is, of course, born in 2000. You see, this is the reason why we need a Power App, to avoid those typos. And he is starting first whatever, and he is in the department 3. Okay, so now we have 3 rows, and let's see how we are going to do our app. We start with clicking on this, and then PowerApps is leading us immediately to the create website, to the studio. And here I have already several connections. You may, when you start with this, establish or create a new connection. Just click on new, and then you have different options. You can see where your data is, maybe in OneDrive for Business. Mine is here, Sweepover Outlook. So here we have now the first app. We connect to this. There's one table inside which is shown here, and we do connect. And now look at this. He's already doing the work for us. He is, or PowerApps is creating an app. Okay. Doesn't look very good. Normally he should have some data inside. Is it appearing he's now requesting some data? There it is. Wow. Here we have Mickey Mouse, Homer Simpsons, and Bender. And I guess this is department code. So PowerApps already entered some functionality. So we have here this search item. Let's say we are looking for Mickey, and then he has Mickey. And we can refresh the data, and oops. I didn't tell you this. This is when you can preview the data. This is what I did. So very convenient. You can immediately see what you did and how it works. And here we have reorder. And here we have very important thing, add data. So department codes, we say 4, we say again March Simpson, and she's starting at this date. Oops, cancelled. She's starting at this date and is born at this date. And as you can see, PowerApp's already identified one of those columns as a date column and automatically entered or added this date picker, and which is quite important thing to know, that you have different date or different data column formats. You have date, for example, you have text, you may have a bit which is one yes or no or false or true. Anyway, so now we have here the submit item, and let's submit this data. And you can see here is something happening. Now the data is saved to our Excel table. Should be saved. Okay, and now you can see we already have this inside our gallery, inside our items. And yeah, this is cool. Now, when I click on one of those containers, in this area, we have the possibility to delete this item and to edit this item. Bender, let's say, I don't know the first name. Who knows the first name of Bender? Does he even have a first name? Let's say he is Lars Bender, which is a German soccer player. Okay, save it again, and now we change data. Takes a long time today. We change data and we edit data. Let's see how our Excel list looks now. Go inside. Here's the first app, SweetBouvet. And what happened in our Excel? I'm curious to see. Wow, so slowly. What is happening? I guess something is happening in something is updating in the background. Okay. Wow! Look at this. What happened? So we have Lars Bender instead of Bender. We have Simpsons March added, and PowerApps added this row, this column, which is the PowerApps ID. Every line in every table needs to have its unique identifier, otherwise it's not possible to manipulate data. So this has been done automatically. Wow, this is cool. This is our first app. What can we do? We can add data, we can manipulate data, and now we can delete data, but now you can see something, I guess. So again, it's taking a long time. Nothing is happening, and normally you should see an error message. Now you can see even an error message added in formula bar. So what is it? The requested resource is locked. Yeah, of course it is locked. We have opened it. So close it again, and we're going back. Delete Bender. Go away Bender. And now he vanished out of our list. Okay, so this is your first app. Now you can manipulate data. Isn't it great? So fast. So this is a start for you to go through all those different controls which are inside. On this side you have the name or the type of the control. I now selected text input. It's a text search box, and it has different properties, advanced properties. For example, you have here different advanced properties. Okay, so this is not that interesting in the search box. What is more interesting is now in the browse gallery. Browse gallery is the name. It's a gallery. So this is the control type, a gallery. A gallery you always use when you want to display different data. So now you can see a gallery is existing out of different containers, which have, each container has a row inside. So each container, now we click on it, now you can see I collected one of those data containers, and which is a row in our Excel list. And in this data container, you can see this on this side, we have a separator, we have a next arrow, we have a body. Body, you can see this is a control type label, and we have a subtitle. And we can change this now. So this item means in this container, this item is this container department code, and we want to see the start date now. Let's change it to start date. Click on it and boom, now it's the start date out of our list. Okay, now you have your first app, but it's not ready. You want others to add data and to manipulate data. How are you doing it? You're going to File, and then you can have a name for it. So let's say it's the first app, employees. Go to Save. Save. And now this app is already saved and accessible. And if you go now to Share, you're going back to this managing environment, Make, and you could enter an email of one of your colleagues in your Office 365 environment, and he receives an email and he can click on this email and he can use this app already and add some new employees. Isn't it great? I'm still absolutely overwhelmed by this. And here you have the web link, and I will show you now that with the web link you have the possibility to open this app in your browser, and that's it. You can see this is not the studio, this is not the development environment. You have here the environment to add new data. Let's say I'm working there as well. Okay, edit, and now it's added. Okay, so if you follow those steps, you have your first app built, and this is a good start just to go through all those controls, to all those functionalities and see how it works. So we have the different screens. Ask yourself, how do I navigate from one screen to the other? So click on the container, click just here, navigate. Obviously the command is navigate, and you can change a little bit and do your first steps with PowerApps. I hope this helped you a bit to start with PowerApps. If you have any questions, just ask them. And now I just wish you a lot of fun and good luck by developing your apps.